how well is China managing its own success? I've always been, I don't know, bullish might be the right word on China. For 25 years, as I've gone to China almost every year, people have told me that China can't continue to grow like this and the whole thing is going to come crashing down. Well, for 25 years it hasn't come crashing down. They've had ups and downs, but mostly ups, and they have managed those downs, those challenges, very effectively. I continue to believe that China will manage to do that. I think that the Chinese government, China has a very bizarre situation where it is being run as a pro-growth dictatorship in which technocrats run the country, and they do it with long-term planning and by and large do it in ways that are friendly to the markets and trade. It's not replicable. When people talk about a China model, there is no model, because mostly when you have a dictatorship or you have any kind of unelected leadership, they tend to screw up the economy. The Chinese do the opposite. Why is not entirely clear. But I do believe they'll be able to manage these short-term challenges they have. They've spent a little bit, their stimulus program was about 10 times the size of the American one in percentage terms, and so they are facing some excesses that have built up as a result of it. They'll manage those. The real problem is not a crash in China, which I think is unlikely. The real problem is that China is going to stop growing at 9.5% a year, just because nothing goes up forever. And the world will have to get used to a China in which 6%, 6.5% growth becomes more normal. It may not happen for a few years, maybe 3 to 5 years, but certainly at that point you're going to see a much slower growth trajectory for China. And what does that do to the world? What does that do to a world that's gotten hooked on a Chinese boom? That'll be an interesting question.